Hello, Miss Tuta. How are you? We're so excited to have you here. Thank you for joining. I have here with me my two friends, Jude and Abiha, and together we're on the Alumni Advisory Council. Maybe they can give you a short presentation. We have some other people on the waiting room, and we will be accepting them right now. But beforehand, maybe Jude and Abiha can give you a prior presentation of themselves.
Hello, Ms. Tauta. I'm Jude on the public affairs with ERA, and we're very, very excited to have you with us in this event. Like, you really made our days by coming here, and we can't wait to get this event started.
Hi, Mr. Uda. It's really lovely having you here, and I'm Abiha. I'm from the same year of TechGirls as Jude and Era, and we really just look forward to having you and getting this event started.
Miss Tuta, you're muted right now. We can't hear you. It's still muted. Oh, we have to, maybe we have to make Miss Tuta as co-host.
Yes, just did that.
Okay.
We're very sorry.
Now we are okay. Because I couldn't unmute myself.
Yes, because all of the participants will be muted in the beginning, so that's why we forgot to add you as the co-host too.
Girls, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be today with you. And I know Era, I know how big impact is she making in Kosovo. And as we say here, that the person is surrounded by the friends who are alike. And knowing Era, I automatically know that all of you are amazing, are exceptional, and that you are already, although very young in age, making the difference.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
Thank you.
I would suggest letting everyone in, but letting them know that we will be waiting. Okay, perfect.
I just let them in because I feel like they think we haven't started.
Yeah.
So maybe it's better to let the people who are already in. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our event. We're very happy to be hosting the first Tech Talk for 2023. We will be waiting maybe in 2 more minutes if we have the people that have registered to join. And I will give you a brief overview of what we will be doing. It would be great if you guys feel comfortable to turn on your cameras. Since the event is virtual, we would love to see the faces and make the discussion feel more personal. And please add your name, add the country that you're from so that we can see the big diversity of countries that we have here. Me, Jude, and Abiha are from the Public Affairs Alumni Advisory Council of TechGirls. We're very happy to have all of you here with us today, and of course, our amazing and inspiring speaker, Ms. Deuta Sahachia, who will be here with us leading the discussion for AI. And we'll hear more from her, and I think it will be a great discussion considering the trend that artificial intelligence has right now, and it will be very beneficial for us all to learn more from Ms. Tuta herself.
Hello,
Ms.
everybody.
Tuta,
Oh.
yes. Jude and Abiha, please. I forgot to formally introduce ourselves. For those of you who do not know us, I'm Era. Me, Abiha, and Jude, we're all participants in the TechGirls 2022 cohort. I am from Kosovo, and I will let Jude and Abiha also introduce themselves right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first Tech Talk. I will be your chat moderator today. We would love to see all your faces and would love to have you engage in the conversation with reactions and use the chat to ask any questions you would like to our guest. We're very happy to have her here with us today. And this meeting is recorded, and we will send you a link to the recording if you would like to view it again later. And now, pass the mic to Abiha.
Thank you, Jude. I'm Abiha. I'm from the same year as Era and Jude, and it's so lovely having you all here to the first edition of our Tech Talks, AI, a path to ethical development. And if you're all comfortable, please turn on your camera. We want this to be an interactive meeting, and I'll be your facilitator along with Era, and we look forward to getting our meeting going.
Thank you so much, Jude and Abiha. I will share a very short presentation right now on giving you more insight on what we will doing, and then we'll pass on the floor to Ms. Seuta and Abiha, who will be moderating the discussion. So right now, I will just share the screen, and we should be good to go. So welcome everyone again to our first Tech Talk of 2023, which today we will cover the topic of artificial intelligence. This event is brought to you by the TechGirls Alumni Advisory Council, the Public Affairs Committee, and we're so happy to see everyone here join us for this event. Before we start, the event will be recorded, as you guys saw in the beginning, and will be shared with the people that registered and with the TechGirls staff, because they will be posting it in their social media and most likely in the newsletter that they have monthly. So a short overview of what is TechGirls for the people who maybe have not heard of it or are not familiar with the term. It is an international summer exchange which aims to empower and inspire women to pursue careers in young women to pursue careers in STEM, and it connects and supports the next generation of women leaders in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And it does that by providing opportunities to advance their skills and pursue their dreams. And now on the Alumni Advisory Council, us, the officers, we actively engage in community educational programming and to help activate other TechGirls alumni. In addition to this role, we also complete professional development training, which includes STEM training, mentorship, advocacy, and service. And the Public Affairs Committee, which we have some members here, me, Jude, and Biha, will be facilitating this discussion. And we will be sharing more information throughout the meeting on what will be happening. And now for the most exciting part, I will let you know a little bit about our amazing and inspiring guest speaker, which is Ms. Teuta Sahachia, and she's right now with us in the meeting. And she is an inspiring woman in Kosovo who has played an impactful role in many fields, ranging from engineering to diplomacy and to constantly empowering and encouraging other young women to pursue STEM fields. Besides being one of the first women engineers in Kosovo and actively being engaged in this field, she has also been engaged in various diplomacy roles and has been a constant role for us women in Kosovo, in the region, and in the world to look up to her and to be inspired by her. She is the ambassador of the Women in Tech chapter in Kosovo, and today she will share with us her expertise, more specifically in artificial intelligence and on the path to how we view artificial intelligence. We're so grateful to have her here with us, and we hope that this discussion will be a very fruitful one where we can all learn more from her expertise, and by the end of the meeting, have a different perspective on how we view AI. Briefly on our agenda, This was our welcome and introduction. And now we will have a discussion with Ms. Teuta, and the discussion will be facilitated by Abiha, where we have prepared some questions, and we will be asking the questions, and hopefully it will give us a deeper understanding onto the AI. Towards the last section of this meeting, we will have the chat box opened, where Jude will moderate this discussion, and you guys can send the questions and yourself into something that you're more interested in, whether it could be about Ms. Teuta or artificial intelligence in general. We welcome your questions, and we will also be taking some of the questions from the form that you registered in. If you have further questions, always remember to post them on the chat box, and we will be sure to check on them and ask Ms. Teuta. Thank you again for joining us, and we can't wait to continue with this discussion. Ms. Teuta, the floor is for you.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored and very happy to be today with you. I see in you long time ago Teuta, who was very much interested in STEM, interested to become an engineer one day. I always knew I will be engineer. I didn't know I will be diplomat too, but for engineer, I was always preparing myself to love mathematics, to be engaged in physics, in astronomy, in fields that maybe today is easier, but in my time, I decided to pursue, went to a gymnasium. There were only 3 of that kind in former Yugoslavia, and the aim was to identify students, identify children who are talented in mathematics. I've got to that gymnasium, to that high school. At the beginning, we were 6 girls. First month, 4 of them just escaped. One stayed with me full year, but after the second year, I remained the only girl in the whole generation. And a generation older than me, there were 0 girls. That time, we will talk later about AI biases, and these AI biases are very much linked to the existing biases. In my time, there were some of professors who were thinking that mathematics is too heavy for girls' head, and it's better if they quit early and go and pursue some easier careers and things like that. Of course, I didn't listen, and I'm happy that I didn't listen. And I graduated as one of the best students and went to University of Electronics and Computer Sciences. Okay, it was not the name Computer Sciences at that time. It was only on electronics. And also graduated with the highest honors and become an engineer. A master of electronics and telecommunication was at that time. But during all the time, the programming and beside being an engineer in the field, in working in the factory, repairing machines and working with them, I was very much interested to start with programming. And let me remind you, it's long before you were born. It was a time without internet. It was a time without Windows even. I'm talking about 1985, 86, 87. And as an engineer, working in factory and taking care of machines, I saw that in my factory there are 2 PCs. And I wanted to start with programming. At that time, the programming that we learned in university, it was Fortran 4. I bet none of you have heard about that language. And the input was not through the keyboard, but it was through some punched holes in cards. And we put the complete block of these punch cards, and the computer started and printed the result. But in factory that I was working, I saw that there are 2 PCs. It was a new starting PCs. I didn't have a clue how to program these. And unfortunately, neither my professors did. Because I went to them and I asked, is there anybody in my country who programmed PCs? They said, Teuta, you are on your own, and please tell us, how are you doing so we can learn? And it was like touching in the dark, staying in factory from 5 o'clock morning until 10 o'clock evening, trying to figure out, it was not internet, there was no ChatGPT to ask how to do that. So I needed to count on some books, on some logic, and in trying. And I remember when, for the first time in my life, I saved a file in a floppy disk. I bet you haven't seen floppy disk too. It's a little sign there at save. That's how floppy disk looked that time. And yeah, I was so excited. My heart was going to get out when I saved a file in floppy disk. And yes, I made a program of salaries. I made a program of financial, and I made a program of inventory for a factory of 2,500 people dispersed all over Yugoslavia, with the shops, with factories, with buying and selling and working in different shifts and working half time, full time, and things like that. So first I needed to learn how to calculate by hand salaries and how to do financial statements by hand. But yes, that was possible. I don't know whether I would have courage today to start that, but I'm happy that I did, and it resulted. So none of us really know what it's in our power and what can we achieve until we are pushed to the fire, until we are pushed to the time and place that we can act. And I think that these unusual situations, in fact, get out of us the best we have. And we discover that we are much stronger, much agile, much worth it than we think at the beginning. So after that, I got married to another town, and my appetite for programming was even bigger now, because I already had some background, and I was bragging with male colleagues that how do you do this, with what database are you using, and which program are you using, how are you solving this? So I was there a superstar, because none of them knew how to do that. And in a new city, I wanted to create something that was not done that time. I wanted to create a computer center. The computer center in a factory that was dispersed all over Jakova, that had offices or shops or premises in Pristina, in Skopje, in Zagreb. And I remember when I went to the board of directors, they were all men over 50 with a big stomach there listening. What do I have to say? And I was explaining, we need to build a new, not building, but the new premises. I calculated everything, even I dimensioned the cable that will come from the transformer to that. It will be the double floor. There will be the line printer. There will be this and that and that and this and that. And they were just looking blank and said, Teuta, we understand nothing. But we see that you know what are you talking. And we see that you are able to push this to the end and to have a success. And the first one said, you have my vote. Oh my God. After him, then others said, you have my vote, you have my vote, you have my vote. And I started, and I said again, Teuta, are you insane? Are you aware what will happen from this? How much work it needs? How much interventions and innovation and things like that. But yes, it happened. We were linked at that time with leased lines. We were linked at that time with modem. When I explained to board of directors, when one of them asked, okay, Teuta, I understand, how can you link the computers that are here and even that are 3 kilometers far away through the post office, but how can you link Skopje? How can you link Pristina? How can you link Zagreb? And I remember, you will laugh probably, I said, look, there is a new device. It is called modem. And through that modem and telephone line with a 232 protocol, you can link to that modem and send the information to the computer that is waiting in different city, and it will program that I wrote will produce the result, and in the evening when everybody is sleeping, that will come again to the mainframe, and it will be like everything is here. So yeah, I really need to write a book about this, because this is definitely interesting thing. And after that, what impacted me, being usually the only woman, the only girl among all boys that thought that it's their field and that you are alien in that field. It was like something that always remained to my heart, that I need to work to bring more girls, to bring more women in whatever thing that I'm doing. That if I am the only one entering to that room, I will not be definitely the only one who will get out of that room. And in every of my position, and I had a lot of them, I took care to bring as much as I could girls and women in the table. And I was so happy to see the picture that you chose. That picture is a picture of a Week of Women. It is the project that I started in 2020, asking NDI to help me with budget and with human power to bring 100 girls from around Kosovo, to give them the full week. First, to be near, because I was member of parliament for many years. I was ambassador of my country in New York. I was deputy minister of foreign affairs. And I used all my positions to bring more and more women there. And I'm so happy that that project that you choose, the picture, the image, is alive and is very strong. And now it's 12 years of that project that is empowering girls and women in politics, in the public sphere, and in creating the world the more inclusive and different and diverse. So after 20 years in public sphere, I decided that it's my time to let it go and to return to my first love, to my original profession, a profession of engineer. But after 20 years, so many things have changed. There was no GW basic, no working in command line. There was cloud, there is internet, there is databases. And for me, is again, Teuta, what are you doing now? Are you okay? It's so much challenge, and you are not young anymore. So how come? But then I said, I can. And I started with trainings, and all my trainers were at the age of my children, calling me Aunt Teuta. I said, no, Aunt at home. Just call me Teuta. And I got certified as certified digital transformation expert in Vienna. I am about to be certified as certified management consultant. I registered in European Business University of Luxembourg, artificial intelligence class. I finished the class of business management. Tomorrow, I'm starting with the class of programming in Python. And on Thursday, I'm starting with a class of blockchain. So yeah, it is possible. It is possible if you decide to do something. Just be aware that you have much more power inside you than you think. It's only just to open your heart, to open your mind, and to get into that and do. And artificial intelligence became my very important of my work. Not only learning about artificial intelligence in academic way. It means talking about learning agent, talking about neural networks, talking about big data, about data set, talking about machine learning, about deep learning, about metrics, and about TensorFlow, and how machine learns. What is that backtrack algorithm that going from one matrix to another matrix, building the tensor and these neural nodes make machine learn. But I am also interested and working parallelly to make artificial intelligence demystified, to talk about that as something that we need to know more about, that more of its social impact. And I think that we here today together, we cannot talk only in academic, but we will talk also in social. And I believe that's why you invited me, and I'm looking forward to questions that you will pose.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tauta. You're an amazing storyteller, and this was very inspiring to learn about your journey, how you started and how you were alone in this field. And now my colleague Abiha will start with our questions on our topic, AI, a path to ethical and unbiased development.
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Tauta. Your story was really, really inspiring. And I loved how you talked about facing challenges and about how it doesn't matter if you're the only person in the room who knows how to do something, or if you're only person in the room who doesn't know how to do something, because you've been in both situations. So I really loved hearing your experience. And now we'll start with our questions and the discussion. So we were wondering what are some ethical considerations that arise when implementing AI technologies, for example, decision-making processes or hiring admissions, or how can these be addressed, these ethical concerns?
Yes, thank you very much for this question. It's such an important question. So let's talk about real biases and about artificial intelligence impact. How can artificial intelligence help or harm these biases, especially if we are talking about women? So let's be aware that artificial intelligence have two pillars, have two hands. One pillar is big data that are gathered all over internet, that has everything that one machine can gather, and there are a lot. The other pillar is machine learning, and machine learning is completely mathematics. It's deep mathematics, it's complex mathematics that work with this data and produce probabilities, give the number of probabilities. For example, it goes through 10,000 photos of a cat. And when we give 10,001 photo to the machine, we can then see if the machine learned how to distinguish the photo of cat and not saying this is a monkey or this is a dog or this is a person. And it says 75% this new photo that I never saw, but I learned from other photos, is a cat. And then the triangle on top, the decision-making, artificial intelligence, goes and says, yes, this is a cat, and continue with decision-making. Okay, this is very, very simple explanation. But let's go to the source. Big data gathered in internet is 85 to 90% are data of men, usually of white men, 80 kilo and up. Why is that 80 kilo important? It is important in design making. It is important in healthcare. It is important in many things. For example, if you are driving, if I am driving, always when I take my car from my son, I need to push my car at the end, the seat. And when I put this seat belt, the seat belt goes to my throat here. And always I need a little bit to move that, because that car was designed for a man of 80 kilo, 180 height. So if this data that is 85, 90% data of men can be applied through machine learning and artificial intelligence, then this data will only be enforced. These biases, these discriminating numbers, the machine will learn from them. And it cannot produce a difference in hiring people, in designing about protocols of drugs, how many milliliters or grams will be given to a woman, because most of protocols are done for men. So yes, artificial intelligence, if not intervened now in big data, will only replicate and even enforce biases and discriminations. And we need urgently to work, and I'm very much looking forward today to tackle what can we do, how can we do, and why is these biases. I hope this was the answer to your question.
Thank you, Ms. Teuta. That was definitely a very insightful answer into how AI actually works and how we can address these concerns. So, as many people have been wondering with the development of ChatGPT and GPT-4, many fear that AI automation might cause job displacement and unemployment. So, do you think how can we balance this with the benefits of AI and still address these concerns somehow?
Thank you, Abiha. This is a question that I'm hearing the most. And it is a legitimate fear of people that will lose their jobs. When they ask me, will we lose jobs? I say, yes. Yes, you will lose your jobs. The presence of artificial intelligence today with this powerful infrastructure, powerful algorithms, is here to stay, and we will never get back to the old now. We are here in the beginning of new era, but many old jobs that will be replaced by new jobs, and the jobless will remain only those who will not learn enough, who will not include artificial intelligence tools in their existing jobs, or to be a part of a new jobs. For example, prompt content writer for ChatGPT and other was unknown profession 2 months ago. Now it's one of most demanded jobs that all marketing agencies are asking for. Today I saw an agency that is looking for Discord professional. Discord is a very important part of gamers. It started as a platform of discussing with each other, the gamers of online games. But Discord is now a part of Midjourney. If you heard what Midjourney is, it's like ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is a language processor, and Midjourney and DALL-E, they are image processors. So yes, new jobs are now available. The new jobs will be AI engineer. It still is not existing, but it will very soon exist as a very demanding job. It will be the data scientists exist, but the profession of data sciences will only increase and be more valuable. AI researcher, today unknown, but it will be very important new job, and other jobs that will appear. So we need very much to be aware, to learn, and to include every new tool and knowledge in artificial intelligence in our existing jobs, or just to go and become start a new job.
Thank you, Ms. Teuta. I think that's a really good point you made, that new jobs will arise as they always have. With the advent of computers, we thought jobs would disappear, but they didn't, and new jobs just keep arising. So another question that we had was, how can we stop AI from perpetuating existing bias, and how could this apply to gender-based bias in specific, since you're a female in the area? So
Yes, and as I told you, in whichever capacity I was working, the gender component was always a part of my work. So these biases, let me tell you that Samsung and Apple is not allowing their employees to use this ChatGPT. Why? Because their engineers were using ChatGPT to solve the new challenges that they had. And these were still very secret jobs until the development. But ChatGPT got all the information and put in that big data. And whoever was asking, ChatGPT generously gave this secret information about new products to the whole world. So this is one of challenges that artificial intelligence still have, and it needs to be regulated. So these biases, this privacy, this personal data, and discriminating biases that exist need to be tackled. Who can do that? I think that we as women, I'm sorry, as girls have one additional task. We need to include women and girls in all parts of a chain, from big data, from being employed at AI jobs, being algorithms, being programmers, being designers, being architects of AI, engineers of AI. We have one additional task, that we need this big data to be filled with our data. So this is one that is special for women and girls. Another thing is to educate developers whenever they write a code, to be aware that women may have another challenges or another needs, as I mentioned about the car or some other thing. So let that be a part of a programming, to be aware of existing biases and try not to replicate or even augment these biases to the new artificial intelligence, because these artificial intelligence projects and algorithms will have much power, will decide about our health, will decide about our employment, will decide about our education. That's why it's so important to be unbiased and to work. So this is two. We as women, two developers, and I think the three, very important, is to make leaders aware, to regulate this field. I know that European Union started with some efforts to regulate this field, but it's still in a very infantile level, and it needs heavily to be regulated, as it is a regulation, GDPR for personal data, that you cannot use somebody's data, somebody's face to replicate, and through artificial intelligence tool to put in his or in her mouth words that is not hers, and to spread disinformation and things like that. So developers, leaders, every individual, and women especially, to demand our place in a table, in programming, in designing, in using, in implementation, everywhere.
Thank you. I think that's a very important part, and it also aligns with the TechGirls community's motto as a whole about empowering women and asking them to take the lead and not letting these biases seep into the new generation of AI. So I think another question that comes to mind when girls try to pursue these fields is, what should they study? What degrees should they pursue? What subjects should they study in school if they want to pursue a career in AI? And what are some potential careers that are available in the field of AI?
Thank you so much. I think that we saw with ChatGPT and with other tools that Chat can also write a program. So you don't need even to know how to write a software. ChatGPT can do that. Or if you are a software developer and you can make some mistakes during writing of a program, you just ask ChatGPT and it will give you the perfect, without any bug, the software. So I think that with this powerful artificial intelligence tool, what young people, what we need to do, we need to enforce critical thinking. We need to enforce mathematics, because after all, complete machine learning is pure mathematics. We need to enforce innovation, problem solving, because after all, algorithms are problem solving tools. It's how we say to machine to solve a complex program, a complex problem. That's why I think that from very early childhood, we need to do things that machine can't. Machine can't make mathematics or some calculations much faster than us. Very good. Why should we lose time in calculations? But we need to use time for innovations, for finding new things, for communicating with machine in order to make machines work for us and not us for machines. So mathematics, critical thinking, problem solving, innovations, new ideas, and mathematics. And I think that for older, not only early childhood, I think that girls in tech girls can have a very strong impact to push this mindset to your good network, to your big network, to advocate that girls need to be a part, because it's not only cool thing, and it is cool thing, but it's also right thing to do. Girls can become AI engineers, and they should. Girls have to be data scientists and to improve that big data that discrimination is inside them, to be AI researchers and to be decision makers in each and every part of the chain.
Thank you, Ms. Teuta. That was a very important. I think the part where you said to make machines work for us and not us for machines, that really stood out to me. And I love how you address all parts of the problem. So, people have also been wondering, in movies we see these robot takeovers and all of that. So do you think is AI in any form a threat to human prowess and our skills? So what's your take on that?
Yeah. During all human development, we were in a situation to face threats. From the time that humans discovered fire, that was the first threat, because fire was danger. But knowing how to use fire to be your ally, to be your tool, human race got to the next level. Another thing, when machines, steam engines have been discovered and took many jobs. It was even a movement in Britain that workers went and destroyed all machines because machines took their jobs. Could they stop the development? Of course not. And after steam engine, much more powerful engines came. So what we need to be aware, we need to be aware to use, as I said, to use this powerful tool that AI is bringing to serve us. But in this way, the all industrial revolutions that happened, 4 of them up to now, and AI is starting the 5th industrial revolution, had to do with automation of work. All of these automated work and made our life easier. AI is definitely making much stronger, helping our life to be much easier. But in AI is something additional that didn't exist in previous industrial revolution. We made machine think. In fact, there is nothing intelligent there. Not now, not yet. It's all mathematics and learning from the algorithms that we are teaching these machines. Can they be misused? They can be misused. We have nuclear bombs that can destroy complete manhood, humanity. But we have regulations and fears that if we pass the threshold, we will not damage only our enemy, but it will cost us also. So that's why we need definitely to regulate this field. And I'm happy to hear from more and more world leaders that want to push much faster regulation of this field.
Thank you, Ms. Teuta. I think that's a very important analogy you drew with the nuclear bombs and with AI, that they need to be regulated to be properly maintained. So now I'll pass the floor to Jude, and Jude will be taking questions from our audience. Please, everybody, feel free to put up your hands if you want to turn on your mic and ask our speaker anything you want, and Jude will be facilitating this part of our conversation.
Thank you so much, Abiha, and thank you so much, Ms. Tauta. Your answers and your story has been really inspiring to all the little girls who want to pursue your path and take part in shaping the future through this new technology that has gained a widespread interest between tech enthusiasts and the general public alike. Now we want to open the floor to our audience to ask some questions. We will start with Lila. 1 second, please, guys. if you'd like to go and unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes, thank you really much. My question is, if someone likes judging your opinion, like they don't see your career, your future career being for your gender, do you have to stop and listen to them, or keep on going and follow your opinion?
Thank you so much, Leila, because I face that. And I hope that in this time, in 21st century, that would not be an issue. I think that first, before listening to others, you have to talk to yourself and to ask yourself, Leila, am I able to push this to the end? And if your inner Leila tells you, yes, go on, then I think you don't need anybody else there. Because there are thresholds, there are obstacles in your path. And believe me, you will always, during all your life, have obstacles. Important thing is, in between obstacles, to see the path, to find a solution, to trust in your ability and just to go. Many times happened that although everybody was saying, no, that's not good, you cannot do that, it's so difficult, nobody did that before you. But when you succeed, everybody comes and said, hey, you did well. And now imagine if you would stay, if you would listen against your heart, against your will. And tomorrow they will say, why did you listen to us? You could have done this. So listen to yourself. If you are good with your inner self, just go.
Thank you
Thank you
so
really
much.
much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tauta. And now we'll have Brina. If you could unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, first of all, I want to take the time and thank you for organizing this call, and which has helped our young generation learn about our future and the impact of AI. And my question is, as we see AI is replacing employees over the world, how do you see AI impacting our country, Kosovo, knowing our unemployment rate is high as it is?
Thank you, Rina. I told earlier that AI definitely is impacting, and it started to impact. What is important, it will not impact only the whole world, it will impact Kosovo. And the new jobs will appear, and the new trainings, new requirements have to be met. So what is my suggestion, and what am I doing together with Women in Tech in Kosovo and Women in Tech around the world, is to empower as much as we can girls and women to pursue this career, to never stop learning new things, to be open-minded and to go with the flow, to catch as much as you can knowledge, and not to be afraid to think about new jobs.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tauta. We have some pre-submitted questions from our audience. One question was, how can AI be used to address environmental challenges or promote sustainability?
Thank you very much. In one of classes that I'm doing in this university was to write a software, to write an AI program that will detect the illnesses of beings in the field. So with image recognition from the drone, when the drone will make a photo of the field full of bees or whatever else, artificial intelligence, strong algorithms will detect the tiniest signs that this part of field is infected, or it has an illness, or some pests are doing damage to that part of field. And with the bare eyes, you cannot detect that. But the strong software, the strong algorithm can see that and have an impact of detecting that part, isolating, curing, or others. The same algorithm with different data set and with different machine learning can be used, for example, where floods are, where glaciers are melting, or in whichever field we are, where we need strong machines, when we need strong algorithms to detect and to give us an answer, then these can be used to protect the environment. This can be used to enhance cure for today incurable disease and other things. So yes, AI will be our very strong allies if we use that well.
Thank you. That's a really great application of AI for the helping our planet instead of continuously just damaging it with more technology. We're using this technology for sustainability and improving our planet's conditions.
Yes.
One question that's in the chat, you of course are a female pioneer in STEM field. How do you feel about the future of female pioneers in STEM field with very rapid advancement? For example, space exploration and all these new fields.
Thank you so much. Last week, no, 22, 23 of May, I was in Paris in our Women in Tech Global Summit. And one of speakers was Deputy Director of NASA. She's a woman. She has that ingrained that need to help other women. And one of the things that she said also is that they have a special program I can share with ERA about internships where girls can go and spend some time in NASA, learn about what they are doing, about space, about technology, about everything. So space is also a part where women need to have a seat there, need to have a voice there, because the new technologies will also enhance space technology. Space technology will be much more powerful with artificial intelligence. And in each and every part of the chain, I'm repeating this every time because I want really that to be a part of your discourse in future, that in every part of a chain, we need to have women in space too.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sauta. That was a really inspiring answer. And we would love to share this opportunity, the program with our attendants. Thank you so much. Before we close, I would like to ask our audience again if anyone has any more questions for our guest. And if not, we'll do a quick parting note from you, Ms. Tota, to close our event today, and we will be taking a quick picture for all of us here at the event.
Okay. So do we have more questions or not?
It seems to be that's all our questions for today.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, girls, very much. I felt really good with you. Hearing that energy that you are radiating is really giving me hope and giving me trust that the future is female and the future is bright with you on board. Just have in mind that wherever you are, if you are the only one, or if you are minority, please work to bring more girls and women. When you leave that place and go to the higher place, be sure to leave that working place, that room, with more women than that you found yourself. Open your mind and learn more things. Learn new languages. I speak 6 languages and I understand 2 more. And probably I will continue to learn more languages, natural languages, but also Python and other computer languages. Keep your mind always open and be be thirsty to accumulate more knowledge, more information, and to share with as much people as you can. Because having this wall full of like-minded people, we create the critical mass that is needed to ignite each and every process, whether it is process in physics, in nature, or in society. So we need to work jointly and to create that critical mass of women, of girls who love STEM, who love mathematics, and who believe that they can improve the world to be a better place.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tauta. Really inspiring, and thank you for being our guest today. And now we would like to take a virtual selfie with our audience. So if you'd like to open your cameras, give us a heart or a thumb up, and 3, 2, 1. Once again, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for our very first TechTalk. This event could have not been successful without your engagement and attendance today. And thank you so much, Ms. Tauta, for joining us today and sharing your insights and your experience with STEM and AI. And that's all for our event today.
Thank you very much. And see you next time, engineers, directors, astronauts, presidents.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tauta. It was lovely having you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tauta, for being our first speaker for the Tech Talk. And it was amazing to have you here. We're so grateful for your presence in our event. Thank you to all of the participants as well.
Thank you, and many successes in your path.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.
Yeah. Bye-bye.